the refrain is gonna be blend your extensions, baby. Blend your extensions. I'm gonna give you as many tips as possible so you can protect your hair, so you can do a really good job putting in clip-ins and making it just like a beautiful, blended, voluminous look, and how to get that seamless low with your clip-ins so it doesn't look like that. Let's go ahead and turn this into beautiful hair magic. This poor hair has been through so much damage. Coloring at home, doing box dye, shaving, cutting with razors, with scissors, like not fancy razors, house razors. This hair has seen it all. Over the last 7 years, I have tried just about everything to get that strip club look. So first things first, when I do clip-ins, the trick for me is having enough hair to really fill out the length. The biggest mistake I see entertainers make, they have one set of clips and the clips are 24-inch extensions and their hair is 10 inches. And it doesn't look good. It looks stripy, it just looks fake. You're trying to create something glamorous that feels real. So to me, I solve that by having 3 different hair lengths in when I go in with extensions. I start with 22, 20 and 18-inch extensions, and I like true Indian hair. These are my true Indian hair clip-in extensions. They already come with the clips in. The first ones we're gonna put in are these 22-inch ones. These are gonna go at the nape of my neck. And the way I like to do extensions is I part and then I straighten that natural hair, and then I curl my hair with the extensions. The rest is gonna stay up here, curled, looking ugly, but as we go through, we're not gonna have to install and then go back in and curl. It's just one process, which saves a lot of time at the club. And to start parting, I'm gonna go in with this little cheap beauty supply comb. The biggest thing with clip-ins is make sure that your sections are really nice and clean, because when they're not and you're layering this much hair, it can really cause damage or pull. So you want those lines clear and you want them to just clip right in exactly where they need to go. And because my hair is a little tangled today, ooh, there's hair on it. No, not for YouTube, baby. And because my hair is a little tangled today, I'm gonna go in with my wet brush. My hair is obviously not wet, but this handy dandy brush is a lifesaver for me, especially with curly hair. It never pulls out my hair, it just glides through really smooth, and it just gently untangles the web of hair that lives up here. And since my hair is a little tangled today, I'm gonna go in with my wet brush. I know it's for wet hair, but it is so handy dandy for me. For some reason, for my hair texture, this type of bristle just does a fantastic job taking out knots without pulling out or damaging my hair. And then I'm gonna start right at the nape of my neck and just make a clear, smooth line. Just so you can see, this is about how much hair I'm taking out for this first part. And look at the line, it's nice and clean. That way when more layers come in, they're not gonna be overlaying or pulling on each other. And because we are gonna be going in with heat today, I'm gonna be using this heat protecting mist. It's called Hot Toddy and it's by Dry Bar. It is just a fantastic product. It goes on dry hair, so you don't have to wet and then go through blow dry, etc. The instructions say make sure that you do it in parts. So before every part, I just do a gentle mist over my hair. And then I go ahead and brush it in so it's nice and coated. Now I'm gonna start straightening with my Hot Tools 1-inch straightening iron. And I'm gonna take from either side of my head. Because I'm doing my own hair, I'm not pulling backwards. I'm just going in on both sides before putting in the extensions. Now, if you have really fine hair or really soft, silky hair, I would recommend leaving this first 1/4 inch of your hair unstraightened, and that's where it has a little bit more texture. You can tease it a little bit as well, so it has a little bit more hold for those extensions. And that's why I really love that Hot Toddy. A lot of those heat protectants or other hair care products can be very smoothifying and like your hair very silky, but that doesn't necessarily create hold for your extensions. So I love that because it's gonna make it easier for them to stay in there without moving around or pulling down on your head as much. Now I'm going in with these 22-inch pieces, and notice how close this is to my natural hair color. You want that to blend really easily. One of the biggest tells of extensions is usually that they can be different colors than your hair. So if you're having an issue with that, make sure that you're getting some raw virgin hair and have a stylist dye your extensions for you, the same person that dyes your hair ideally. That way you can have the same exact color going through your hair. And especially if you do layers or balayage, it's really important for that to blend out nicely. Remember, a good pair of extensions can last you for a long time, so it is an investment because you don't want it to look fake when you're at the club. This is your hairbrush. Now that these first pieces are in, I'm gonna go ahead and split down the middle and bring them to the sides so I can start curling. Now I'm just brushing them together, and that's so all of the hair is nicely blended. By the way, because this is real hair, I'm also going to put a little bit of this heat protectant spray on it to keep these extensions fresh for as long as I can. To start my curls, I'm going to go in with the Baby Bliss Pro 1.5-inch curling iron. I've seen so many club hairstylists use this. A lot of professional stylists love Baby Bliss. And honestly, for a curling iron, it does a lot better than Hot Tools. I'm gonna go in just a quick little straighten out to make sure everything is in the same place. And I'm gonna go in about 3/4 of the way before I really start curling. I really am gonna start right where my hair ends, just to give both the extension and my hair that same texture and to really hide where my hair is running out. Ooh. I know she's small, but these bottom layers, I don't like to do too voluminous, especially up here, because the rest of that hair is going to fall on it anyway and it's going to kind of drop. So I don't mind the curls starting a little bit lower. This is all you're going to see of this hair, and the rest is just really here for volume. Now I'm going to take the other side, same drill. Boop. Now to fill out the bottom part of my hair, I'm going to go in about every 1/4 to 1/2 inch with 3 more of these 22-inch extensions. Now, if you're going long, it's really important, do not go past your ears. You take these long pieces and you put them in the front, you end up looking like a Lord of the Rings character. We're not Legolas, we're trying to frame your face. It's just not realistic. Your sideburns do not grow down to your booty. So, take these behind the ear, below the ear. We're gonna separate them out by about 1/4 to 1/2 inch when we part, and then layer them right on top of each other. Now that we've gone about 1/3 of the way up, I'm gonna transition out of the 22s and into some 20s, and that's just gonna give me a little bit more volume up here, but also help me start layering. I'm also gonna be doing the curls a little bit closer in, so where the last ones I was starting the curls for the most part right here, you probably notice as I go up my head, I start to curl a little bit higher, and that's because this layer is really gonna start adding that texture and really making it look really full and beautiful on top of these more smooth layers towards the bottom. And as I start getting more towards the top of my head, I'm gonna part out this front hair right behind my ears, just so it doesn't get caught when I start putting in these front extensions. Usually what I'll do is add a little bobby pin here to hold it up. Get in! Hot. And if there's any pieces that have curled a lot towards the top, which sometimes does happen if you're wearing them on stage and tussling them around, I just like to go in with the Baby Bliss before I put them on my head, because this is going to be a lot harder to do and also cause a lot more damage to your natural hair if you're doing it every time after the extensions are in. Straighten them out, brush them a little bit again, and then install them. All right, now we're about 2/3 of the way up. We're gonna go in with these 18-inch extensions. And for these, less is more. When you start going towards the top of your head, if you layer too thick, it starts to look like your natural hairline is here and like the rest of this is extensions. You wanna create the opposite effect of layering. So we're gonna make slightly bigger gaps here. We're only gonna put a few pieces up here leading up to the hairline. And then I'm gonna show you how I blend the top. Now, as I'm getting towards the front of my hairline, I have these little sweet baby curls right here that I don't want to overheat, and I also don't want to run through with my large iron too much because that might burn me a little bit or be uncomfortable. So for that, I've picked up this Nano Baby Bliss Pro. It's adorable. It looks like a miniature hair iron, and it's just a great tool for getting rid of some of these tiny little curls that are usually going to pop up if you have textured hair. And that's gonna help my natural hair blend really nicely with the extensions, so you just can't tell where my hair ends and the extensions begin. As I move towards the front, I'm gonna keep my part in mind. So I'm gonna finish out this whole side before finishing out these little edges. Just literally, I'll never forget this. Like, when you're naked, all you have is your hair and makeup.
Amen.
Do your shit. I'll curl. Like, your presentation has to match, and I think a lot of people forget, like, it's a superficial interaction, you know? Like, yes, you can be a wonderful person. Yes, you can get into a conversation where you get a customer to really fall for you, but also, if you don't look like what their mental model of attractiveness is, you're setting yourself up for this uphill climb the entire shift. You are setting yourself up for no thank you, not right now, maybe later, I don't want to talk to you, and it's just an automatic response. Like, they are just going off what they see in magazines, what they see in videos, and they're going, that doesn't look like the thing that I thought was here. Like, hair, any type of preparation is gonna take some time, but my question is always like, is this gonna save me time on the floor? How much time is it gonna save me trying to upsell customers who aren't convinced by my presentation to just look like $1 million? Like, just look expensive, over the top, gorgeous glam, and give them that fantasy. Like, Victoria's Secret, well, no, Victoria's Secret is Honey Burdette, sexy, agent provocateur, bordel, like high-end luxury, I'm that bitch energy. That's really starting to look like something. I'm gonna cut right at the front, about 1/2 inch before my hairline, and then just curl so it follows the line of my part. What that's gonna do is create this really nice layer right over my face. And once I flip this last piece of hair over, it's gonna look so blended and natural. So I'm gonna do my final part before I straighten, and that's really important. If you curl this on top of this, it's not gonna look like one piece of hair. So you need a part, and then we're gonna straighten over this, tease it, and then curl it all together. Oh, you still in here, you gotta go. I want that wig back. I look so good in that blonde, bitch.
Yeah, you.
My
really...
$10,000 night was in that blonde wig.
I can't.
And that motherfucker was like, I love your blonde hair. Like, I know you do. I love my wig, my hair too. So this is nice and curled. I'm getting towards the front. I want to combine my weird ratty edges with this gorgeous flowing, not mine, except by buying hair. So to do that, I'm gonna go in with Aussie hairspray. It's a number 4 instant freeze. It is not a joke. It is playing zero games with y'all. This thing will hold. especially if you're going to the club. That's just essential. I'm just gonna go in right on the front of that hairline, and I'm gonna start combing. Combing up and over. Carmen, we can do this. We're gonna do this little up and over swoop situation. Stick a finger in there. Work in that spray. I literally just use that to create that little swelling curve at the top. And then I'm gonna let it breathe for a minute while I close out the other side. And sometimes you'll catch a couple of these that might have been pulled towards the front or that got lost in the process. I will just go in and add them to another bundle of hair, like pull out a little bit from another curl and then just blend them in. And if it's a lot of hair, sometimes I will bobby pin it up in my nape. Voila. We're gonna go into the last corner of my hair right up here. We're just gonna add 2 more of these little narrow pieces of 18-inch true Indian hair extension. Notice how I'm still leaving a little bit of hair at the front. That's all mine. You just never wanna be able to see that clip showing up. The thing about having dark hair is it hides these pretty well, but you don't want this clip to be showing up towards the front of your face. And again, you wanna avoid that sort of Lord of the Rings mythical long hair at the front. That's just gonna take so much away from all the hard work you did to get here. And again, for the last pieces that are gonna be up here on both sides, make sure that your hair is sandwiched. And here's what I mean by that. You want the bottom layer that's gonna go underneath to be straightened, and then you want to put the hair and then the last layer over it before you ever curl. And that's because you want that really beautiful curl consistency and for all of this to just look like it's coming naturally out of your head. Now I'm gonna go in again with this Aussie hairspray and just give myself a nice douse all around my hair. Pageant queen style. I'm gonna be in the club all night, so I'm not going for a loose hold. I'm going for this to be literally glued where it is, because as the night goes on, these curls are gonna start falling and just looking more natural and pretty, but I go full quinceañera when I am walking into that club. So this is the final look. It is long and luscious and voluminous, and it looks so real. You can move your hair back like this when you're dancing, which is one of my favorites because we didn't put hair up here at the front. You can even pin it and make a whole beautiful vintage look. You can flip her and it just looks so beautiful, so full, and so pretty. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Go ahead and comment below with what videos you want to see on the Rackstylist's channel, and make sure that you hit like and subscribe to see more amazing tutorials, interviews, and other content designed for us, by us, period.